Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our watch of Columbo Season 2 with Episode 2, The Greenhouse Jungle. If you want to keep up regularly with what I'm doing on this channel and my uploads and my reactions and all that good stuff, make sure you subscribe and you click that notification bell. Also, if you could like this video, it would be so appreciated. Every little like helps with the algorithm because algorithms are my worst enemy today. So I would appreciate it if you would do that. Okay, The Greenhouse Jungle. This episode premiered October 15th, 1972. Its guest stars were Ray Milland as the killer, Bob Dishy, Sandra Smith, Bradford Dillman, and William Smith. Ray Milland is this week's killer. We previously saw him in the Columbo episode Death Lends a Hand with Robert Culp. He played the infamous Mr. Kennicott, as Columbo so eloquently puts it.
Mr. Kennicott.
And he's back to play our killer this week. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember his performance in this one, so this watch is going to be interesting. And we also have two actresses in this episode that also appeared in Star Trek, the original series. We have Arlene Martel, who plays T. Pring on the Star Trek original series episode Amok Time. She was Spock's betrothed. And then we also have Sandra Smith in this episode. She was in the very final episode of Star Trek, the original series. It was an episode called Turnabout Intruder. She played an ex-lover of Kirk's named Janice Lester. The episode description is: Columbo suspects a plant collector of murdering his nephew to gain access to a trust fund. It's always the trust funds. All right. Wow. All right. Potential thunderstorm incoming, and I'm very worried about the severity of it. You guys can't tell from my setup, but it got really dark outside. I have a light here so it doesn't make it look as dark. And I just got a notification on my phone that there's a severe thunderstorm watch. I'm just hoping that it doesn't interfere with this reaction video or the connection, because that would be really annoying. It was a dark and stormy night.
Who is this?
It's Janice Lester.
Man, he just bought himself some trouble.
He's what?
Just stay put, lady. If he pays up, no hard feelings.
What is this?
Look at the sleek design of that phone. There's so much gold in that room. The gold bed sheets, the gold layout. I'm telling you, 1970s stylization was something else.
Tony? Hello?
It's T. Pring.
Whom? Mrs. Tony Goodland. I know all about your skills at the office.
Yikes.
Just tell me where Tony is.
They both have the same picture on the side of their beds of him? That's so weird.
Jarvis?
Looking for Tony, are you?
Didn't remember his name was Jarvis.
Tell me, my dear, have you tried your own home?
Jarvis, look. I'm not in the mood for bad.
Jarvis
news
is gonna
right
mess
now.
with me because
I got
Iron
a
Man.
weird phone call a couple
Tony
of
Stark.
minutes ago, and I...
Did you? One of your friends?
Damn it, Jarvis, will you listen?
Sounds quite lethal, doesn't he?
Jarvis, you little...
Well, I
Poop
tell you,
face.
Candy, it's been my pleasure to hear you so upset.
God, Jarvis, you're kind of a
Torpedoes running straight
jerk.
to normal. Why do you insist upon being in love with a wife who spends all your cash on some skiing instructor?
Ugh.
No, wait a minute. What if Kathy calls you back again later?
She'll get a busy signal.
Wow. Sarcasm to the core. I gotta tell you, this 70s music hits different. It gives the show so much swagger. Same thing with Hawaii Five-0. Hawaii Five-0 has so much swagger because of the music.
Couldn't we just hide the Jag? That thing cost me a bundle.
Did it cost you $300,000?
Jarvis is just the king of sarcasm, the king of witty comebacks and sarcastic phrases, dry comments. I know you guys can't see this. It just got so dark in here.
Headlights off. I know. Windows up.
Forgot roll-up windows
Emergency
were a
brake
thing.
off?
Yes. Flaps
Boy,
up.
that car is really low to the ground.
Would you mind? But don't just stand there and push.
You're ruining a perfectly good car. I'm sorry. That is so frustrating. I hate watching brand new things or things that are in perfect condition get destroyed. It's so annoying. Oh my god. I just remembered this is the episode with the fall. With Columbo's famous fall.
The end of a perfect day.
Tony didn't like doing that. Oh my god. I just got so excited. The fall! I love that car so much. Has a personality all of its own. It's so much like the Enterprise in that way. Car is a character of its own.
Now look, can you back this up and move it down the hill with the rest of the traffic? This way, sir.
I love Sargent Wilson. He was a great introduction to the show. He's like a puppy.
Here, I'll show you the quickest way down.
That was so perfect! Oh my god.
But I'll tell you, it was the quickest way down.
Oh, yes, by far.
It was so perfect.
Thank you.
That was so perfect. I want to rewind that like 20 times. It's just the best fall ever. Oh my god.
Here, sir.
He's so great.
Subject vehicle, a Jaguar, registered to
I'm gonna
subject
spit this
person,
out.
last
That's
night's
so
missing
funny.
person report, Anthony Goodland. Subject vehicle has been here since last night. Subject
He's so
vehicle,
by the
electric
book.
clock, bullet hole in window on driver's side, but no blood, indicating preliminarily that bullet missed. Guess I don't have to tell you what this all adds up to.
Adds up to? Yes, you could tell. I was wondering, could you tell me your name?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir. Detective Sergeant Frederick Wilson, sir. Please forgive my rudeness.
I love him.
You're a very efficient officer, I can see that.
He's so, like,
With
eager.
permission from Captain Ritchie did say you were fast becoming a legend in the department.
Oh, Captain Ritchie said that?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Oh.
Columbo's like,
Do you have
Well
a
then.
night? I wonder why he said that.
I beg your pardon?
can't write my notes fast enough.
Captain Ritchie, he said that?
Oh, repeatedly, sir. Oh, repeatedly, sir. Oh, repeatedly, sir.
Columbo's like,
I wonder why he said that.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Yes.
Your coat.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll carry it. Thank you.
oh, I love Sergeant Wilson. He is so
Well, I
cute.
must say, Captain, our kidnapper, whoever he is,
I have a lot to say
is
about that.
certainly no piker.
I can't write my notes
Found a
fast enough,
ransom
though,
of
because all these scenes are so good, I just don't want to miss
$3,000.
them.
Don't you ever stop, Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis is kind of a
Leaving our personal affection aside,
Richard.
you must realize that I'm not a weakling with a spendthrift wife.
Oh, shut up, Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis, you kind of suck, dude.
Mr. Goodland,
Yes.
would you mind if I came in?
I like his
Well,
hair in
I've
this
already told
episode.
you people everything I know, Lieutenant. Believe me.
Ma'am, you see, this time I've got something to tell you.
Oh.
Jarvis looks like a bug.
This
His
is Jarvis
eyes.
Goodland, Tony's uncle.
We found your husband's car about an hour ago. It was in a canyon off Middle Cross Road. Smashed up pretty badly, I'm afraid. We found a bullet hole in the window on the driver's side.
Yeah, she's not having much of a reaction.
You already heard this?
No.
Oh,
It's always better to tell the truth, my dear, especially to the police.
Jarvis, will you
Jarvis is the worst.
the way I could just barely get into the house here. Well, I make these small observations. I can't help it, man.
I like the staging of this shot
May I see the letter,
with
please?
Ray in the middle.
Well, you can't.
Mrs. Goodland, this is a crime. This is a police matter.
I've already sent it by messenger to Mr. Jameson at the Golden West Bank.
Now, it's no use glaring at me like that. Blood is thicker than martinis.
He is
Jameson right away.
extremely punchable.
Delightful, isn't he?
You know, everybody gets uptight in a situation like that. I can understand that. Rest assured, we will do nothing to interfere. Just help.
I heard the front door close. I thought you were alone.
Oh my god, that's perfect timing. He goes, I'm gonna help you.
Ken Nichols,
Oh,
friend of the family.
that was amazing. That was
Now, Mrs.
perfect timing.
Goodwin, we'll stay in the background till your husband's release. I mean, Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right.
Lieutenant, I don't really care what you might be thinking right now. Good day.
Yikes. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Columbo's like, I literally didn't say anything. I was just trying to be nice. There is nothing likable about Jarvis. I mean, at least with John Cassavetes in the last episode, you liked his character, the killer. Like, some of the killers are more likable than others. Here's our greenhouse jungle. I wish you guys could see how dark it is. It got so dark out. Just popped up.
I hope I didn't starve you.
That was amazing.
I must say, it's been a real pleasure because I've never seen so many beautiful flowers in
Columbo
my
and
life.
flowers.
Orchids, Lieutenant.
Boy, a fella could go broke with a hobby like this, hmm?
That's a
You
meme.
mean to tell me
Boy, a
anyone
fella
that
could
isn't
go
worth
broke with a
$12
hobby like this.
Lieutenant Columbo, I have a feeling you came here with something else in your mind.
I'm waiting to hear how you made out at the bank. Don't worry, I'm not hurt. That must have been a relief when you got to that part.
Oh, yes, indeed.
They're not even trying
No
to be
pony.
concerned.
Sit tight.
There's no concern
Getting his
from
way,
Jarvis
but
or
also
Kathy.
the
Nah, it just hit me how much you must love these flowers.
Here he goes.
No, when you didn't go straight to the bank, I mean with your nephew being kidnapped.
You mean I'm being followed? In that case, I don't mind revealing that my nephew isn't worth a sack of peat moss. I'd call up his captors and tell them that they're welcome to him.
Columbo's like, what kind of family is this? You can just see it in his brain. He's like, okay. Wow, they're like the most despicable group of people so far in any episode. Oh, there's the boy toy. He's a widow sandwich.
Sir.
We got a ring.
Answer it.
I feel like if this was made today, Glenn Powell could play Ken in the background. I don't know why.
Tony, where are you? Yes, I've got the money.
Tell Jarvis he's to go to Cal, Texas.
Tony's
East
hairstyle is
Wilshire.
the worst.
Public phone
It
booth.
looks like a lion's mane.
Dear boy, there's one thing I don't need. It's a hero.
I want to punch him.
Now, assuming I survive, I shall telephone and let you know.
There's nothing likable about Jarvis. You know, maybe that's the point. But, you know, the other killers, like, you have more of a relationship with them.
Keep him in sight. No tailgating. Understand? Yes, sir.
Keep him in sight, no tailgating, you understand? Is nobody on the streets of LA? This is a rarity. You would never see a street like that in LA now. Columbo. God, the soundtrack to this show is just amazing. Such memorable themes. Whoa, that's a massive cloud. What the heck? Sorry, you guys are probably gonna hate me for how much I'm talking about the storm, but this is crazy. There's like a massive dark cloud.
It's about time. You got 15 minutes to get there.
Why did he change his tone of voice?
Did you ever see one of these before, Lieutenant?
No, I'm not sure I have it.
Camera-mounted starlight scope. They use them quite a bit at Berkeley for night work. I bought this one myself. I wanted to have the best equipment for the job, sir.
You must be a bachelor.
Why is he making those faces? He looks like a Veggie Tale. Oop. Pretty sure that just came off in my hair. Sorry.
Lieutenant, we've got some very clear footprints here, going and coming.
Good, but we'll have some Moulange cast made. I think we better go.
Lieutenant, we pretty much stopped using moulage casts, you know.
We have. Well, then maybe we better take pictures.
Oh, very good.
Yes, as quickly as you can, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
He's so flabbergasted by Wilson. But, like, Wilson doesn't, upshow him, which is what I like. This is a really risky plan.
Oh, Oh, it's you, Columbo.
Yes, sir. I hope we didn't scare you.
He says, give me the money. I gave him the money. I hope he didn't surround those trees he ran into.
I hate this guy.
Yes.
Can't this wait until tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess it must seem to you that we're not being very considerate. Have a pleasant night.
Columbo has a hell of a lot of patience because, ooh, I want to punch Jarvis. There's nothing redeeming about Jarvis.
Sorry for so long. We had to be sure that Neanderthal policeman wasn't following us.
Neanderthal policeman.
Would you look at these lovely green berries? Beautiful.
Far too beautiful for you to waste your half on that woman.
That woman happens to be my wife, and I want to keep her.
She doesn't want to keep you.
The time has now come for me to explain to you Phase 3.
Rest in peace, Lion's Mane. Oh, Tony, you sweet summer child. Ooh, look at that ascot he has on.
Oh, he could pop up any minute now, sir.
Still laughing at Columbo.
There is that possibility.
Popping up
that
above
once
the
they get on
flowers.
right
You mean they may have waited until the ransom money was paid and then... That's a grisly thought.
Well, you just never know. My wife has tried everything she knows to get this thing to grow.
Oh, Columbo.
This African violet here. I was hoping maybe you'd be able to make a suggestion.
That is the most miserable present I've ever seen. My only advice to you, Columbo, is to throw it in the trash can.
The line of flight of that bullet through the window. Well, that slug would have passed right through him. I mean, if he was driving a car.
Tony's been ducking things adroitly for years.
Right. Listen, sir.
Columbo has
You've
the
got a gun
patience
yourself,
of
haven't
an
you, Mr.
angel.
Dillman? Also a 32, I think. I just happened to run across a police report you filed old way back there sometime. I guess a guy broke in and you took some pot shots at him or something?
All I had was a pile of dirt over there.
Believe
Well,
me.
I confess.
Confess to what, sir?
To having an unregistered weapon
His
somewhere in the
facial
house.
expression.
That's what you're leading up to, isn't it?
Oh, no, sir. If I arrested everybody with an unregistered weapon in Los Angeles, believe me, I'd have half the population in jail. Gee, this is magnificent.
I asked you a question.
This is
I'm
magnificent.
sorry, sir.
I love ADHD Columbo.
These were taken with a starlight scope.
Where are these pictures taken from?
All the way down at the bottom of the hill. They don't show very much. Which is kind of funny, too.
What was kind of funny, too?
Got it in one shot.
Not as rusty as I thought I was. What do you think?
I think it's very odd.
Way to go, Columbo.
I'll tell you, in most cases, you don't have any clues. You can't miss a shot. In this case, I got so many clues, they don't know where to start.
You're the detective. Don't ask me for your answers.
Oh, I can't miss a shot. Isn't that wonderful? You know what this whole game is? It's all in the wrist. You just got to keep that loose.
There's a lot of symbolism here.
Yes?
I liked what he did there. He made the shot, clearly missed, and he went,
Oh, I told him I was going to be here. I hope you don't mind, sir. Hello. Yeah, come on,
I love these little scenes.
They found your nephew's body.
According to the coroner's intake, the bullet apparently went directly through the heart. Lieutenant, there are 3 cups, 3 plates, 3 different brands of cigarettes. That means there were 2 persons here besides the victim. That's obvious.
Awfully obvious. I understand you were his receptionist for a while. That's a good picture of Tony right there, isn't it?
It's the same picture he gives
I
everybody.
know what you're thinking. The secret love life of the murdered man, huh?
Miss Weiss, I'm not here to hurt you. And I believe everything you tell me.
Oh my God, I love
I
him.
just think you can help me, and I'd appreciate it if you would cooperate. Did he talk a lot about money? I mean, lately.
Maybe.
Columbo is-
He was
I
always
love
going
him.
broke from his allowance.
Miss West, believe me, it's a lot better for you to tell me something now than to have to tell it in front of a jury later on.
Friend of what?
I like how he levels with her.
I think you're a very honest person.
Well, there's this gentleman that his wife was getting serious about. Tony said he made a living getting a suntan. The gentleman had agreed not to see Tony's wife ever again if Tony gave him $50,000.
Gloria, was Tony the kind of man that would arrange for a fake kidnapping? Because if he did, whoever helped him do it might be the man who killed him.
I mean, I said he wasn't a very strong person. I mean, look at me. I eat carbohydrates all the time. Please, sir, leave me alone
Kind
now.
of a dumb line,
Stop asking
but
me
I
about
like it.
Where do you come from?
Oh my God.
Homicide, of course.
Why can I see...
Well, they handle morals now. He's objecting to the places I go.
No, ma'am, that's not true. You see, somebody tried to convince me that you had a lover, Mrs. Goodland. And anyway, she said that this mysterious lover of yours, some guy with deep suntan, that he'd go away and get out of your life forever if your husband...
Being
gave you
direct without
$50,000.
being direct.
I'm sure it's just malicious gossip.
Yikes.
However-
Very sneaky man. He's a very sneaky man. He knows exactly when to be direct without being direct. I'm gonna eat some blueberries if you guys don't mind.
Mr. Goodland.
Ah, Miss West. I'm sorry I couldn't meet you sooner.
Why did he wait so
You said
long
you
to
wanted
say
speak to me
something?
Anyway, this detective came to call this afternoon.
Rumpled raincoat, rumpled face.
That's him.
Hey, be
A
nice.
lieutenant.
That's my lieutenant.
Tony told me he had a .32 that he'd given away. And I remember now who he told me he gave it to. His wife. Well, don't you see how that fits? I'm gonna help put that woman in prison and get paid $30,000 for it, too.
And you're quite right about the police, especially that stupid lieutenant.
Watch it.
Now, why don't you let me handle things for a while, hmm?
Oh.
I cannot wait for him to get put away. Okay. That was creepy as hell. Yikes. The use of violence, not violence, wow. Violins. The use of violins in this episode is very effective. So creepy.
I came over as quickly as I could, as soon as I received your message.
Thank you, Sergeant, thank you. Now, I would appreciate it if you'd hand this gun to your ballistics experts. When I told your Lieutenant Columbo, he immediately leapt to accusations that that possibly could be the gun that killed my nephew.
I must say, the lieutenant's investigatory procedures do differ somewhat from my own.
Well, that speaks very well for you, Sergeant Wilson.
Well, thank you very much.
Got a little nervous there for Sargent Wilson. Woo!
How do you want your chili, Lieutenant? With or without beans?
Lieutenant, what are you doing here?
Just ordering some chili.
Didn't you get my report on the Jarvis Goodland statement?
Yes. That gun he gave you? Checked out okay with ballistics, huh?
Sure, of course. If we turn Catherine Goodland's place upside down, I guarantee you we'll find that murder weapon. We'll find it.
Go ahead on your own. You find anything, you let me know.
Who's that?
Very nice fella. Been a big help to me on this case.
I like that there's no animosity between them. Like, Wilson does not upstage Columbo. He's very respectful of him, and he's very eager to impress him, and he's very non-problematic. Like, there's no conflict there. And Columbo's like, oh, okay. But then he comes to appreciate
Right
him.
here where I always keep it.
Would you take it out for us, please?
But is it here?
I can see that.
It sounds like a Star Trek sound effect. Wow, that is a big metal detector.
Sergeant, for my money, that pistol is long gone.
Grover, you
Giant
and I
metal
know
detector
that
feels like a
across the gun
joke
immediately,
from
but
a
we're
parody
dealing with
movie.
amateur. Come on, let's go. Grover, have ballistics check the pistol against the 2 bullets they've got, then call me, understand?
Don't you want me to check for Lieutenant Columbo?
I'm in charge here, Grover. Step on it.
I like him. I don't know if anybody dislikes Sargent Wilson, but I like him. I like him. I don't like you, though. Get out. What do you think? One more drink before we take you to jail, Buster? He's coming to get you.
What the devil are you doing here?
He totally did that on purpose.
I'm hoping to straighten a few things out. Oh. Don't want to forget this. You have a real green thumb, sir.
Will you please take your African violet and get out of here?
Wait a minute.
Lieutenant, I don't understand. I was halfway downtown with Mrs. Goodland when we were ordered back here.
Sergeant, has this lady actually been arrested?
She'll be charged as soon as we...
No, Sergeant. No.
Damn, Columbo!
Oh.
Here you are, Lieutenant.
Thank you,
It's the pauses that he makes.
I have some bullets here. This one is from the wrecked car, 32 caliber. This one is from the body of the victim, also 32 caliber.
Both of those came from the gun that was found in her house. Sergeant Grover said they confirmed it as the murder weapon.
Sergeant, I don't want you to feel badly, because without you, I'd never gotten this idea. I mean those technical things that you're so good at. You see that?
What is it?
Oh, God,
Third bullet.
I hate him.
Also a .32 caliber, and also proven by ballistics to have been fired by the same weapon that fired the first 2 bullets. I guess it was one of those bullets that you fired at that guy who broke in here about a year ago. You said you only hit dirt. I don't know how you're going to explain, sir.
That's an insane amount of detail.
The same gun that fired this bullet in the dirt ended up tonight in Mrs. Goodwin's dressing room. Sergeant, would you take Mr. Goodwin downtown, please?
Mr. Jarvis Goodland, it's my duty to inform you that anything you might, this way, sir.
Mrs. Goodwin, would you allow me to drive you home?
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Oh, now we're being nice to him.
Oh, one moment.
Go get your wife's plant.
If I forget this, my wife will kill me.
Bless. Oh, bless. Oh, bless. I love... Goodness. I've talked about this before, but I just really love the imagery of Columbo and flowers. It's like a reoccurring thing in the show. Okay, I'm starving, guys. I'm gonna go grab a very quick piece of pizza and then I'll come back. I literally haven't eaten anything all day, but the greenhouse jungle. Fortunately, that storm didn't blow out the power or the Wi-Fi. I was very concerned about that. So if you saw me looking around a lot, sorry, I was just really worried about one of those 2 things happening. So the greenhouse jungle. I think it's gonna be straightforward here. I guess let's start with Jarvis Goodland. He is the worst.
It's been my pleasure to hear you so upset.
He is actually the worst. There is nothing likable or redeemable about that guy. You know, usually like with the Columbo killers, you're able to form a relationship with them and you like them to a certain extent, like Robert Culp or Jack Cassidy. I mean, Jack Cassidy in Columbo as Ken, he is an absolute snake, but you like the guy. It's weird how that works. Or John Cassavetes in the last episode of Columbo in A-Tune in Black. They do a good job of making you attached to him and making you like the guy and go through his life and his routine. Here, Ray Milland is just portraying a jerk. And I just thought there was absolutely nothing likable about the guy. I think he's probably on the end of the Columbo killers that I do not like. Probably he can hang out with Eddie Albert in Dead Weight. So Jarvis, you suck. You suck. I love Sargent Wilson. I love Sargent Wilson so much. I think Bob Dishy does a great job of portraying Sargent Wilson as this very earnest and eager to please, and this younger cop that feels like he has a lot to offer, but he doesn't like step on Columbo. He's very respectful of Columbo.
Captain Ritchie did say you were fast becoming a legend in the department.
I think the portrayal that Bob Dishy gives is very like wholesome and sweet, and it's got like puppy following an older dog around vibes, which I thought was very cute. Sargent Wilson is very by the book and scientific and methodical, and Columbo's very disheveled and he's a bit messier and he's kind of all over the place, and I think that makes a very nice contrast between the 2 characters because they're so different.
I must say the lieutenant's investigatory procedures do differ somewhat from my own.
It was nice not to see an antagonistic dynamic between them, which is something that could have easily been done. Other than Arlene Martel's character, Gloria West, everybody was just a kind of a jerk to Columbo. I mean, at least on the killer side of things, not his cop comrades and not Gloria West or whatever. But just like Kathy is so nasty to him, and then she's nice to him at like the last second. I'm like, you don't deserve this. They're all just so nasty to him, and I love how they keep hammering home that Columbo is so polite back. Whereas I'm sitting here like, Columbo, you have so much patience. I would have clocked that person in the face by now.
You know, everybody gets uptight in a situation like that. I can understand that.
But I think that's such a testament to the character and why he's so well liked, is there is nothing angry or embittered or hardened about him. Yes, he's a professional, but he's very polite and he's very kind, and I think the core of his character is empathy, and I think that's why he appeals to so many people.
Would you allow me to drive you home?
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Arlene Martel's character, Gloria West, which I thought she did a very lovely job. There's something about her voice. Like when I hear these women talk with these soft transatlantic accents, or mid-Atlantic or whatever it's called, I find myself like wanting to reduce the way that I talk, like bring my voice back because I'm a little bit more loud. But she spoke so beautifully and very melodic. It was just very comforting to listen to her voice.
Hello?
But I really appreciated the scene where Columbo's talking to her and she's on edge and she's nervous and she's like, I didn't do this, I didn't go here, we weren't lovers. You know, she's all on edge and Columbo's like, whoa, I'm not here to get you. I'm just trying to get information. I want you to help me. And he's very like forthright with her and he's very direct and he's very kind.
Miss Weiss, I'm not here to hurt you. And I believe everything you tell me.
Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite aspects about his character. He is very gentle and very kind, but he's also assertive when he needs to be, like we'll see in a later episode this season, which was like shocking for me to see because he so rarely loses his temper. But again, the empathy with Columbo, it's like my favorite aspect about the character. He's deeply kind. He aims to understand people, which is just such a nice quality to see in a character. I wrote down a lot of symbolism with Columbo making the shot, playing billiards over and over and over again.
I think it's very odd.
You can't miss a shot. Well, I can't miss a shot. Isn't that wonderful?
And he keeps making the shot over and over and over again as he's talking to Jarvis, which I thought was some cool little symbolism there as he gets closer and closer to unraveling the case. I enjoy this one. Maybe we should get through the season before I rank it. As far as like the plot goes, I didn't particularly love the killer or love the murder mystery in this one. I don't know, but it's hard to rank these episodes without the context of the entire season, but I don't know if I would rank this. I don't know. I don't want to rank it yet. But I didn't love the killer. I didn't love Jarvis. I wasn't blown away by Ray Milland's performance, but he didn't do a bad job. What rating would you guys give this one? I'd be interested to hear. Sorry, last one. I know I was like, I gave all my thoughts, but Columbo falling down the hill is like perfect comedy. I could watch that 80,000 times. I remember the first time I watched that, I laughed so hard I almost peed myself. I was with my dad and we were crying, laughing because his facial expression is so unbelievably funny. The way he falls. Anyway, short trivia from Shooting Columbo. So obviously, this episode introduced Bob Dishy as Sargent Wilson because NBC was like, you need a secondary character for Columbo to play off of. And obviously they introduced Dog, but as we saw, Bob Dishy became was he reoccurring? I don't know how many episodes he appeared in. But it says, to satisfy NBC's longing for a memorable assistant for Columbo to play off of, they created an aide who was both prominent in the story and had a personality. Falk insisted on using his acting pal from New York, Bob Dishy, to play go-getter Sargent Wilson. Though Dishy proved a perfect foil, the producers were in no hurry to ask him back. What made his Wilson character so enjoyable, how his officious nature and by-the-book police work contrasted with Columbo's and allowed the murderer to lead him to the wrong conclusions, could have led the series to become repetitive. I definitely agree with that. David Koenig details Columbo's fall. Columbo lags behind as scripted, so apparently this is from the script. The descent looks unnervingly steep. That Wilson is skipping and sliding down it like a gazelle does not help Columbo at all. Now worse, Wilson has halted partway down to look back up, waiting for Columbo. Columbo steels himself for the end. Columbo comes down like beginning skier shoved by an enemy onto an advanced slope. He not only reaches Wilson, he passes him, albeit unintentionally. As he goes by Wilson in full uncontrollable slide, he says, "Little steep."
It's a little steep.
At the floor of the canyon, Columbo abruptly arrives in the foreground. Though still alive, he is absolutely rigid, eyes a little glazed. The quickest way down, all right, he says. That was in the script, so that was the script description of that scene. Ooh, Peter Falk asked to do the stunt himself. He started out slowly, apprehensively, then began to stagger, lurching forward faster and faster, his arms flailing wildly until he hit bottom at full speed and slipped into a ditch. Falk didn't have time to deliver his lines until, after a beat, he was on his back on the canyon floor. He then had to repeat the stunt so it could be filmed from different angles? Wow, way to go, Peter Falk. Way to go. That is a realistic fall. Honestly, does it not look so realistic? I thought it was, the first time I watched it, I thought it was accidental. Like, I was convinced that it was an accidental fall because his facial expressions were so perfect. It did not look like it was intentional, but I guess it was intentional because they had to film it multiple times to get the different angles. Okay, that's your little fun fact for today, guys. I guess that concludes the Greenhouse Jungle. What did you think? As always, leave your thoughts and your comments of your opinion on this episode. What would you rate it? I guess it depends on the basis of which you choose to judge these Columbo episodes. The quality of the plot, or how many funny Columbo moments are in it. I would be really interested to hear where this one ranks for you. And as always, I appreciate you guys following my channel and engaging in the community and engaging in the comments. And I will see you next week when we watch... Ooh, The Most Crucial Game. That one's gonna be fun because my favorite, Robert Culp, is back. So, next week we'll watch the Most Crucial Game. My brain's everywhere right now, can you tell? The Most Crucial Game. So we'll watch that next week. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you in the next video. See you later.